Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to rig a car without any add-on inside Blender. And the best part is, there is no bones in this rig. Before the tutorial, I appreciate you guys for the support. Thank you for the views and engagements that keeps me motivated for making new contents in this channel. Without any delay, let's start the tutorial. These are the controllers we have in this rig. There are 4 controllers. Body control for controlling the body rotation of the car. Then we have steering controller, helps to control the front wheel's steering angle. After that, the controller for car movement. This controller also helps to rotate the wheel according to the speed of the car. And finally, we have drift control to make the car drift. Without any delay, let's start the rigging process. First of all, we need to separate the car into different parts. Car body, wheels, and calipers if any. All the wheels and calipers need to be separated into single objects. And the origin of the wheels and calipers need to be in the center of the wheel. This helps us to avoid any wobbling of the wheel while rotation and misplacement of calipers when steering the wheel. I have already made some controller objects, which are some simple mesh planes in the shape of arrows and rectangle. You can use your custom controller objects if you want to use my controller objects. This project file is available for you in description. Make sure you put the controller objects in a collection and turn off the render option for the collection, so that the object will be removed from final render. Now let's start parenting. Let's start with car body, parent body of the car to the body controller. Here the origin of the controller is crucial. You can see that I have placed the origin of the controller roughly in a position which the car probably rotate on. Make sure you adjust the origin according to your car model. You can change the origin by turning on origin option and setting your origin where it want to be. Make sure you turn the origin off after the adjustment you made. Now let's make the car drift. For that, select all the wheels and calipers and parent it to the drift controller. Now we need to parent the body controller to the drift controller. Origin plays a huge role in this controller, just like in the body controller. Origin plays a huge role in this controller just like in the body controller. As you can see, the origin of the drift controller is placed roughly in the center of the front wheels. This is the actual point of rotation when the car loses its traction from rear wheel, and the front wheels are now responsible for the control of the car while drifting. Now we have completed rigging the body and drift control. Let's move on to others. Select the body and drift controls and parent it to the main control, which is responsible for the car movement. We will do the wheel rotation later. Let's move to the steering part. Parent the steering control to main control. Now select any of the front wheel, then add transformation constraint to it and select the steering controller as target. Make the target and owner in local space. In the map from options, select location and give min-max value of the location in the needed axis. Here we need to move the controller in its x-axis. So we put -1 and +1 in the x location. Select rotation in the map to option. Now we need to determine the rotation axis of the wheel. In this project, the axis is z. Select x-axis for z rotation. Type the min and max value of the steering angle according to your needs. Here I am using a value of -65 and +65 degrees respectively. Now we can see that the steering is working exactly how we expected. Now select the front calipers and the other front wheel, then finally select the wheel with transformation constraint and select Copy to Selected. This copies the constraint to the objects with same parameters. So our steering controller is completed. Let's add some limits to the controller so that it only allows movement that needs. Add limit location constraint and select the movement axis we need to limit movement and give the min-max value we give in the wheel transformation constraint, which is -1 and +1. Now go to the object settings and lock the transforms that don't need to be accidentally changed. This helps us to eliminate moving the controller in unwanted location, rotation, etc. Now the controller can only move in x-axis in between -1 to +1. Let's add wheel rotation. For that, select a wheel and add transformation constraint. Select the main controller as the target and set both the target and owner to local space. In this case, the main controller is moving in its y-axis to go forward or backward. So that set -1 and +1 for the y location in the map from option. and the wheel need to rotate in its x-axis. For that, select y-axis for x-axis and put min-max rotation value for it. A value of 180 will make the wheel grip without slipping, and increasing this value make the wheel spin faster and vice versa. Make sure you put the value correctly, or else your wheels will spin in opposite direction. Copy constraint to all the wheel to make it spin. For continuous wheel rotation, make sure to check the extrapolate option in the constraint. Our rig is almost complete. Now let's add some limit constraints to body controller and drift controller. For drift controller, we can add a limit rotation constraint to limit the drift angle of the car and make sure these limit constraints are in local space. If not, the controller will be limited in world space and it causes problems. Do the same for body controller and limit its rotation in X and Y axis. I accidentally limited Z axis. Don't limit it, that can cause problems in the movement of body. Now we have completed the whole rig. The body of the car will rotate in the limited axes without clipping into wheels. Steering works as we expected. Main controller works as expected and the wheels rotate perfectly with the motion. Drifting works as expected until we uncheck the Z-axis for the limit rotation constraint of the body control. Guys, that's it for the tutorial. If you guys need detailed suspensions, speed control, wheel brakes, etc. for this rig, please let me know in comments. I will update you with part 2. And thank you guys for all the supports and love to my videos. You guys give me views that I didn't even imagine. If you have any suggestions or improvements, please let me know. I will see you in next tutorial. Until then, goodbye.